A world that makes us long for a sense of satisfaction that leaves us wanting to start it all over again. Welcome to the world of biking. A new journey, a new beginning every time we get on a bike. A perfect definition of a marriage between man and machine. A new adventure begins every time we crank up the engine, no matter how big. The rumbling engine that screams at every input of the throttle. Be it a single, parallel or an inline four, the love for the bike always stays the same. As once said by 9-time world champion Valentino Rossi, the most important thing is to have a good relationship with the bike. You have to understand what she wants. I think of a motorcycle as a woman, and I know that sounds silly, but it's true. The relationship that bikers share with their bikes is an important aspect of riding itself. There are many different types of bikes, and the riders will pick the one that suits them the best. From simple 50cc cycles to high-revving fire-breathing monsters, a rider is open to a variety of bikes where they're spoiled for choice. Mainly, bikes are split into three categories: street bikes, sport bikes, and cruiser bikes. Each of these categories represent the characteristics of the bikers themselves. The bikes define the rider, their traits, their style. It suggests the kind of person they are. Sport bike riders have an aggressive approach towards riding. On the flip side, a rider of a cruiser bike would just want to relax while riding. Riding a bike is an art, an emotion that makes the rider feel like his problems have vanished, and the only things in his world are him and his bike. The sound of the wind, the bellowing engine, the sound of the chain, the rider's mind, all are in sync. They become one with the bike. The lean into the curve, the greenery, the ability of the bike to inspire enough confidence in the rider to throw it into the corner. Once a rider picks up the lid, he enters a world that is filled with many more people like him, bikers. Irrespective of the occupation, age or status, the rider finds a brotherhood, a family that he bonds with for the rest of his life. These are people who would give their everything to help out another rider who's in trouble. It doesn't have to be a blood relation to form a family of people who are united by these machines. Our bikes may break down in the middle of nowhere, and if another biker comes along the road, he would stop to help the troubled machine and its owner. A brotherhood that stands up for all the causes that affect the world. A group of people who are capable of being a catalyst to the change that the society needs. They ride together to pay homage to the fallen. They ride to make a difference. Motorsports, an extravagant adrenaline-filled smoke fest that determines the best of the best among riders. Around 1894, a German company called Hildebrand and Wolfmueller came up with the first set of production motorcycles. Not so long after, people started racing the motorcycles. These races led to the introduction of Grand Prix racing, which had purpose-built racetracks and roads. International Autocycle Tourist Trophy, today known as the Isle of Man TT, was one of the first races to be held around the 1900s. From the smooth and precise riding style of Valentino Rossi to the hot-headed, elbow-scraping, aggressive style of Marc Marquez, every racer has a unique riding style. They undergo vigorous training process even before getting on a motorcycle. Cognition, reflexes, logical reasoning are some of the training they undergo, along with extensive physical training to withstand huge shunts and crashes. While training to ride a bike on track, they fall several times, involving many different reasons. Tank slappers, high sides, low sides, tail ends and T-bones are some of the common accidents that riders deal with. They gradually start developing unique riding styles that suit them, and the racing teams design the bike around it. This tradition was started by two of the greatest riders of all time, Mike Hailwood and the only person to have ever won 15 world championships, Giacomo Agostini. In India, motorsports is still in its budding stages. Companies like KTM, TVS Racing, and Bajaj make active efforts along with the FMSCI to promote racing within the country. Cups like TVS National Championship, KTM Orange Cup, Pulsar Mania all are held to push racers to an international scene. Companies like Mahindra Racing have entered international tournaments like Moto2 and Moto3. It is always up to young riders to pursue their dreams of becoming an international racer. These riders are constantly taught about safety and the importance of safe riding both on track and road. They are trained in such a way that they don't take risks unnecessarily and always use riding gears in order to stay safe and protect other riders from hazardous situations.
We pretty much take care of all of these because these are very important when you go out there, because everything is spontaneous. You'll never know what's going to happen at what point of time. So be it road or be it race track, safety is the most important thing you have to take care of, because you don't want to hurt yourself nor the riders around you. So we have graded helmets, leather suits, boots and gloves. So all of these are scrutinized before we can take part in any of the competitions, and we do wear it during practice, qualifying and race. So there's not a single time we go out on track without any of these.
35-year-old woman biker in Palghar was crushed to death by a truck in an accident because of a pothole.
A 24-year-old boy died in a bike accident near Mandi House on late Tuesday night.
One of India's most famous women bikers, Veenu Paliwal, she's passed away in a road accident.
Instead of a helping hand, all that he could hear was the click of mobile phones.
Young motorcyclists who generally overestimate their abilities boast of their riding skills when in reality they have none. In other words, these people are known as squids. Squids wear no protection, deeming themselves to be invincible. This fact compounds itself with the fact that they engage in extreme riding, performing wheelies and stoppies in public areas. These are rogues who think breaking traffic rules openly is a cool thing. Dodging cops who are doing their jobs and injuring them in the process are some of the infractions these people commit. The entire biking community is put to shame because of these people. We live in a country where one squid's erratic riding kills a little girl, which leads to an outbreak of localites beating up every other biker on the road. This kind of dangerous behavior has and will lead to deaths of innocent people. It is hard to give a permanent solution to all these problems, but introducing road safety into the syllabus of schools and colleges, bettering the organization of RTO tests for license would be a start. The manufacturers do as much as they can to add many safety features to the bikes they sell, and sometimes a rider has to accept that they cannot ride a bike over its limit just because they got overtaken by a bigger bike. Investing in safety gears and good quality helmets is considered to be an unnecessary affair in our country because riders are not used to buying standardized safety gears. They just need a cap that looks like a helmet because a rule was made. Riders should invest in well-graded gear that meet ISI, DOT and SNELL standards for the sake of their own lives.
Even when we ride on road, we do wear a branded helmet which has a good certification, because we are used to wearing helmet, and we know the importance of wearing helmet and riding, because be it street or track, there are risks because there are other people riding around you.
No matter how good they think they are, a rider's progress from a small bike to a bigger bike will help them a lot so that they can respect the power the bigger bike has and can have a pleasant journey being a biker.